Hello, my friend, and welcome back. Today, I want to do a little card pull and see what kind of message is in store for us today. Okay, so I think we have pulled this card before. It's the Soul Family card. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. This is a really important message because being on this journey can feel why am I yellow? Can feel extremely isolating. And especially with the internet now, a lot more people are awakening and getting their information, maybe not from like an in-person group anymore. A lot of times it is online. We're in online communities and we're consuming different content on YouTube, and sometimes that is, of course, it's wonderful, but sometimes it can just feel very isolating. And I know for me, like, it's easy for me to get like wrapped up in that bubble because I keep my circle very small of the people that I surround myself with. I keep it very, very small. So for me personally, it's easy to get wrapped up in spirituality and the oneness and the connection. And sometimes I am brought back to reality hard, that awakened people are still very much the minority. And humanity is awakening, but the majority of people are not there yet. I don't even think we're close to being the majority or half or anything like that. I don't even know. 3%? I really don't know. I'm sure there's a statistic, but I'm really not sure what that is. So when I get that hard reminder of the fact that most people are not awakened and that I am very much in the minority in that aspect, it can feel extremely isolating. It can feel extremely lonely because, I keep my circle small, and even in that small circle, most of them aren't awakened. So it's easy to look around and be like, wow, I am really all alone. Like, I know that other people on the planet are doing this and going through this, but in my immediate life, I am alone in this, and I am kind of trudging through this journey because it is not the easiest journey. We can move through this journey with ease and grace, minimizing our suffrage, but remember, even saying that a journey is easy or hard is judgment. So you can't say that it's easy either when you don't want to say that it's hard. But all we can do is learn, evolve, and grow, and continue doing what we're doing, continue doing the work, continue doing the inner work, continue putting out those light ripples through our actions and the way we speak to each other and the way we act towards each other, and also the way that we feel on the inside and the way that we treat ourselves and the way that we speak to ourselves. Remember, those are also light ripples. So be careful about how you're speaking to yourself, and be careful about how you're acting towards yourself, because remember, life is a game of boomerangs. And you may think like, well, I'm not putting it out there, so how's the boomerang coming back? But thoughts, feelings, and actions are ripples, are boomerangs that you're putting out there. And it doesn't matter if you are speaking harshly to yourself or you're speaking harshly to someone else. You are still speaking, you are still giving that energy. So be very aware of how you are speaking to yourself, and you want to speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone that you absolutely adore. And because that doesn't always mean that you are cushioning everything and sugarcoating everything, because when you adore someone and you want the absolute best for them, sometimes the truth is what they need. However, you're going to deliver that truth in the kindest way you can, and not like, oh, you're a freaking loser, get it together. It's like, oh no, maybe you need to be moving forward a little bit more in your life than you have been before. That could be a much kinder way to put something like that. And you know, it's so easy to be harsh on yourself, and it's so easy to, I mean, you can make fun of yourself and be light and be happy, but not make fun of yourself and like in a mean way, you know, you're so dumb. Like, it doesn't really help you, it doesn't serve you, and you are then putting out a negative ripple, or a ripple, a boomerang that you may not necessarily want to come back to you. So keep that in mind as you're moving through this journey. So going back to our card, our soul family, and not having to do it in alone, and we can call in our family, I think that one of the first ways that we can instantly feel less alone and less isolated is to remember our connection to everything, and to remember that there is no separation, that separation is an illusion. So loneliness is actually an illusion. You know, that isolating feeling is actually an illusion to the truth, because the truth is we can't be isolated, we can't be alone, because we are all one. So once you remember your connection, the next thing you can do is you can remember that you are a part of a team, and you have I like to call it a spiritual posse, that you have a spiritual posse that is here with you every step of the way, that never, ever, ever leaves your side. Even when you feel the loneliest, that is when they are there. I don't want to say that's when they're there the most, because they're just always here, but they are always here for us, always trying to communicate with us. You know, look at those coincidences, those synchronicities, those angel numbers. All of those things are reminders. Sometimes they carry messages, but sometimes it is just a reminder that you are not alone. They just want to say, hi, we're here. Let us remind you that we are here with you. So that is another way you can feel instantly alone, because even if you are physically isolated, you can never be spiritually isolated. Those entities, those beings, those angels, those guides, the spirit guides, the animal guides, the ancestral guides, all of the different guides that we have are always with us. And they really want us to know that. And they really want you to call on them and ask things of them, because they are here to assist us, which is a really, really comforting feeling, because feeling like we are here alone and trudging through this, and we're warriors, and we're doing this, we are, you know, those light workers, can feel really tough. So the next step would be to want to maybe call in some humans into your soul tribe. And with the blessing of the internet, it doesn't always have to be a friend that you meet for coffee. I mean, those can be wonderful too, but you can also start to formulate a tribe online, and you know, to have that communication and that connection. There are tons of spiritual tribes online, and you know, I think that here in Modern Alignment, we're also creating a little tribe too, you know and to read comments and to see responses and say, oh, well, I'm going through that too, or wow, you know, look at this. I'm reading those and be like, wow, it's so interesting, everyone's different perspective and what everyone else is going through. And it's amazing that I'm going through a lot of those similar things too. So that can also help you to not feel as alone. That can also put a few people into your life that you can ask questions of, hey, are you going through this too? Or has anyone else experienced this? Or even just, you know, saying hi and reaching out is a wonderful feeling, or knowing that you have a community that you can post something into and that other people will see it and read it and respond to it. Those are all ways that we can start to call in our soul tribe. You don't have to do it alone. And that is a huge blessing and reminder. You don't have to do it alone. You are not doing this alone. And you can at any time call upon your divine help and your soul tribe. Your divine posse is part of your soul tribe. You know, soul tribe can be, you know, actual other humans that are part of your soul tribe, but your soul tribe is mainly made up of divine beings, which is awesome, because if you are watching this video, I say it millions of times, you are a light worker, you are a way shower, and to know that you have that divine support in your mission is so comforting and imperative. It is imperative that we recognize that for our own psyche, for our mission, for our heart, you know, just for us to be able to pick ourselves up every time that we feel like we get tripped up by life, because it happens a lot. Because as way showers and as light workers, we are doing the most work. We are doing the most inner work. We are doing the most evolving and growing. And I'm not saying in a way of putting us onto a pedestal, because we are no better than anyone else. We are all one. We are all going through this journey. However, in order for us to be those light workers and to be those way showers and to carry out our mission in the way it needs to be carried out, we need to be learning the most and evolving the most. And it has come from many lifetimes before us. You know, I think that I haven't really explored past lives too much, but I am a little bit familiar of it, and I am getting the message that most light workers and way showers have had really hard past lives. And those experiences stay with us now, and there is a specific reason that we had those experiences. It is to be here, to be now, and to have experienced that kind of evolution. Because had you not had those past lives, you may not have been awakened to the point that you are right now. And it is so important for us to be awake right now, because this is the time. The time is now. The evolution is now. I keep seeing online, the revolution is starting, the revolution is starting. Like, no, the revolution is not starting. The evolution is starting. We have always been evolving, but the evolution at this accelerated rate is now. And I just want to say one more thing, because I had a thought yesterday and I really, really wanted to share this, is that this spiritual warfare of the light and the dark, I was just thinking about it, and it's like, what if humanity was heading in a way, or getting to that tipping point of being more service to self than service to others? And that is where that call went out, and lots of light workers started to incarnate onto this planet to help bring in the light, to tip the scale back into service to others, to tip the scale back into light. And, you know, as light workers, how do we tip the scale into the light? It is not by beating the dark, defeating the dark, fighting. It is not in those ways. It is in a different way. It is bringing in light. That is why light is pouring into our planet and things are a little energetically crazy. It's because we need that light to pour in, to tip the scale onto the light side, because humanity was headed in a very, very dark way, and we needed to accelerate this human awakening, this mass awakening, to keep the scales tipped towards the light. So that is why this light energy is pouring out. That is why the time is right now to be awakening. That is why connection is more important now than ever. Even coming down to our cards, the soul family, because what is a soul family? What is that soul tribe? At the root of it, it is connection. It is connection with each other. It is connection to ourselves. It is connection to the divine. It is connection to the earth. You know, don't underestimate the earth as being part of your soul tribe. The plants, the trees, the animals. Remember, and like, well, just one more thing about the soul family, because it is not always the way you think. Because even if you look at this card, so there are two girls sitting here. Yes, humans, soul tribe. But look at the animals. What is it? A whale, the dolphins, and they are surrounded by beautiful pink flowers. This is all the soul tribe. The nature is part of your soul tribe. The water is part of your soul tribe. These little dolphins, these animals. This card, this soul tribe card, is not drawn this way as a mistake, as coincidence. Oh, just make it pretty. No, this card is drawn like this to remind us that yes, human connection is so important. However, that nature connection, that divine connection, that connection to everything is just as important as being a part of our soul family. These trees are part of our soul family. The grass that you walk upon is part of your soul family. So don't get wrapped up when you see like, oh, soul family, call in my tribe. Where are my people? I don't have a lot of friends, you know, physical friends that are right here with me right now that are awakened and that I consider part of my soul tribe. Also remember that even unawakened people can be part of your soul tribe. They can be our teachers. They could be our leaders. Because, and now this is where your discernment comes in. Don't blindly follow everyone, because you're like, everyone is a divine being. But don't underestimate the teaching and the learning and the growing that an unawakened person can show you. Because the divine speaks through them too, because they are also a spiritual being. And just because their soul chose not to awaken in this lifetime does not mean that they are any less of a spiritual being. That just means that they chose that experience, and they are having experiences and learning and evolving and growing that just may not incorporate being spiritually awakened on our conscious level. So remember that and keep that in mind, because I think that this was a really, really amazing message for us to get today, and an amazing reminder, because you know, we all need that sometimes, and we all need to remember that we are all connected and there is absolutely no separation at all, ever. And remind yourself of that as many times as you need to. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Anne, and I hope to see you tomorrow.